Hi, today we'll be talking about bystanders in the modern world. As we know, bullying can cause significant mental, developmental, and social stress on those hurt by its effects, making it a very big public safety concern. Less than 10% of bullied children tell someone, and only 8% of students miss one day of class per month in fear of bullies. When it comes to stopping bullying, those who play the most important role are those of bystanders. Bystanders are people who witness the bullying either in person or through text messages, social media, or other forms of media. Now, a bystander can choose one of four roles which can greatly impact the way the situation may occur. A bystander can be an outsider, which are those who watch the bullying happen from afar and stay away from the situation, not getting involved. Defenders are people who help those getting bullied, either by intervening while the bullying occurs, or addressing the bullying, or by informing someone about what's going on. Reinforcers are people who laugh, cheer, or encourage the bully in any sorts of way. The assistant is someone who aids the bully in their schemes, either by restraining or blocking the target, or maybe even keeping watch for the bully. There are many reasons why a bystander would choose to interfere or not to interfere with the bullying. Maybe the bystander is a friend of the person being bullied and want to protect their friend, or they believe bullying is wrong and others should be treated with respect. Someone may not interfere because they fear retaliation of the bully, or may fear that they may lose their social status within the school. A person may also not be friends with the person being bullied, so have no sort of connection to the situation at all. When talking about bystanders, it's also equally important to talk about the bystander effect. The bystander effect is defined as people not taking initiative and responding to an emergency situation because others are present and witnessing the same thing. In the workforce, this is believed to be the reason that information shared amongst employees is never shared to management. Employees believe that because there are so many other people with the same knowledge, the responsibility to speak up doesn't solely fall on them. This thus lowers the individual's drive to speak out. Researchers tested this idea with various methods and concluded that employees who have redundant information about a workplace topic feel a diffusion of responsibility and were then less likely to communicate that information to management. The biggest question asked by people is, why do some people react in a crisis situation while others don't? Well, studies by psychologists John Darley and Bib Latane look at whether the presence of other people greatly affects someone from intervening in an emergency situation. In one of their studies, they asked college students to sit in a cubicle and were told to talk to other students through the intercom, with one person using the intercom at the same time. They were told that they would be speaking with one, two, or even five other students. But earlier in the study, the coordinator mentioned that he sometimes suffered from seizures. So when he went up to the intercom, he pretended to have a seizure. 85% of the participants who were in the two-person situation believed that they were the only witnesses to the victim's seizure, so they left the cubicle to help. In contrast, only 62% of the participants who were in the three-person situation and 31% of the participants in the six-person situation tried to offer help. In another experiment, a participant and a confederate were placed in a room together, instructed to work on a joint task. Soon after, they heard a crash and the coordinator would dismiss the sound. Only 25% of the participants went into the next room to try to help and see what the situation was. But when the Confederates said, "That sounds bad. Maybe we should do something." 66% of the participants took action. An active bystander is someone who takes steps to make a difference in a situation. First, an active bystander will assess the situation to determine what kind of help might be necessary. They then evaluate their options and choose the best strategy for responding. Something an active bystander can do is to encourage dialogue. The situation between the two people may be based on a misunderstanding, so encouraging dialogue between them can allow them to realize their misunderstanding and stop their fighting. Something else an active bystander can do is point out the elephant in the room. They can listen to both sides in the argument without judgment and then bring up concerns that they feel they see from both sides. Being an active bystander is one key way to truly prevent bullying. Based on the studies and information we found, we can conclude that people are more likely to be active bystanders when there's more of a connection between them and the person being bullied. This could be a social, empathetic, or emotional connection. For example, being a friend with the person being bullied or feeling sorry for the person being bullied. We can also conclude that more bystanders present can actually lower the chance of someone speaking out due to the bystander effect. When there are more people present, people will look to others to step in and handle the situation.